I feel like you just get to a point in your mid-20s and you're just like, okay, what's going on? Like, am I winging this? Are people around me winging this too? Like, are we all in this bucket where we don't really know what's going on, but we're just taking it each day at a time?
Yeah.
I feel like that's where I'm at right now. And quite frankly, when I talk to other people, they usually say the same thing. Nobody has it all figured out. Like the top MDs, the top CEOs don't have it figured out. Like we're all just doing what we know as best as we know it and getting by every day.
Yeah. Hi guys, welcome to another episode of the Women with Audacity podcast. I'm your host Pelumi, and as always, I have a gorgeous, remarkable guest with me. I have Tolu Aribisala.
Hi.
How are you doing today?
I'm fine, thank you.
You look amazing, by the way.
Thank you.
So you're a communications specialist, a fashion entrepreneur, a fashion and lifestyle influencer.
Yes.
You wear many hats. Is there anything we don't know that you're doing right stuff?
Wow. Okay. I'm also a model. Well, that's like part-time.
Yeah.
I just do that for fun. I think I enjoy it sometimes. I like being in front of the camera. So that's one way that I try to be in front of the camera.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one thing.
But do you enjoy, like, what's your favorite thing that you do right now?
Favorite thing that I do right now would be fashion. Making clothes for people.
Yeah.
So apart from styling people, which I do, I also make adira pieces.
Yeah.
Yes.
I have one of your dresses, by the way.
Oh, you do?
Very beautiful. Yes.
Oh,
the long brown adira one with thin straps.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
That's amazing. So I just really like that. So what you just said, like people wearing my pieces and just saying, oh, I really like that. So seeing how it actually comes alive on them really makes me happy.
Yeah, and they're super comfortable, by the way. Super chic and super
from
comfortable.
her, guys.
Yes. So today we're going to be talking about growing and glowing in your 20s.
Okay.
And I'm going to start off by asking you one question. Do you believe in the glow up era? Do you think every young woman has like that particular era or stage of their life where they just start to like glow, like physically, like mentally, your mind is expanding, you're more confident? Do you believe in the glow up era?
I definitely believe in the glow up era, and I'm speaking for myself because I feel like I experienced it.
Yeah.
It's just the way you look at your throwback pictures and look at your current
and
reality.
You just
and
know.
You're like, how do people even have a crush on me when I look like this, right?
Yeah.
So you can definitely see the changes physically. You can see the changes mentally. You know that you're thinking a lot differently than you used to when you were younger.
Yeah.
Your head is just in a different space. So glow up isn't just physical, right?
Yeah.
You start to think about how you want to develop yourself, the kind of courses you need to do to get ahead, the kind of jobs you want to get, you know. So it's all encompassing, right? And I believe people usually go into that stage at different points. There's no age restriction or whatever. You just get to that point and you know that you have started to see those changes in you. So yeah. Definitely believe in that.
I love that. And I love the fact that you said it happens for everybody at different stages. Because I feel like now, especially much younger people, why am I saying much younger people? I feel I'm old. But like people want the glow up like desperately.
Yeah.
Especially when you're seeing other people glow up. But it happens for everybody in different stages. So I'm going to ask, when did your own glow up era like happen for you?
Well,
what was that saying?
I would say maybe like fully old, maybe like after uni. I felt like when I started to work, I started to take up myself more. You know, I could afford everything that I really wanted. Well, not everything, but like, you know, when you earn a salary, you can start to make some certain decisions. You start to make your hair look nice. You start to do your makeup. And then you also start to think differently. Like I said, apart from the physical, you have like the whole mindset shift about how or where you see yourself.
Yeah.
Right. So I started thinking about how I wanted to go back to school for my master's, for example. Started thinking about the courses I wanted to take to follow in the career path that I was already going into. I started thinking about how I wanted to also grow my business. So what do I want to do to grow as a person generally? So I think all of that started to happen after I left university.
Yeah. So what would you call this era of your life right now?
This era of my life is just the figuring shit out era. I feel like you just get to a point in your mid-20s and you're just like, okay, what's going on? Like, am I winging this? Are people around me winging this too? Like, are we all in this bucket where we don't really know what's going on, but we're just taking it each day at a time?
Yeah.
I feel like that's where I'm at right now. And quite frankly, when I talk to other people, they usually say the same thing. Nobody has it all figured out. Like the top MDs, the top CEOs don't have it figured out. Like we're all just doing what we know as best as we know it and getting by every day.
Yeah.
So hopefully we get to the point where we eventually figure it out. Who knows?
Hopefully. We have to. We don't have a choice. Because I feel like, so I'm 24 right now.
Yeah.
And when I turned 20, I remember just being very confused. Like, I was happy to be like a young adult, you know. I have a job now, I'm earning money, like I can do anything I want to do. But at the same time, I was so confused. And then I turned 24, like this May. I'm a Taurus baby. And I thought I was going to have like more stuff figured out. But I ended up being like a little bit more confused. Like, of course, growth happened.
Yeah.
I figured out some stuff, what I want to do, what I like, what I don't like. But I still feel very much confused. And I feel like you're right. We'll just keep figuring it out as we go. So what are 3 things right now that you've identified that are important to your growth are like non-negotiables for anything that you do?
First thing I'm gonna think about is God. I feel like God is such a huge instrument into anybody's growth.
Yeah.
Like you can't possibly figure it out on your own. It will be a lot harder if you had to think about it yourself. Sometimes all the time.
Yeah.
But as much as you can hear, he kind of makes it easier for you to know where you should go.
Yep.
So I think that's for me non-negotiable. Like just having God in your corner and like praying about stuff that you can't figure out on your own really, really makes all the difference. I think family as well.
Yeah.
Just having people, and not necessarily blood. Like some people might have like close ties with, blood family, but having people in your corner that can encourage you, push you, tell you how to do things differently, really, really helps. And I think having mentors as well, that should be the third thing. I don't know if this is I don't know if there are like other things I would have mentioned in hierarchy, but like just off the top of my head, that's what I can say. Having a mentor, having people that you can look up to, so it's almost like a template. You see the things that they do and you find ways to mirror it in your own ways to go into the path that you have sort of created for yourself. I hope that answers the question.
Yeah, it does. It does actually. And I very much agree with like the God, like I don't want to say bit of it, but I feel like it's very important. And I feel like everybody discovers that at different points where you're like, okay, I can definitely not do this alone. So yes, that answers the question perfectly. So now I want to ask, what are some major life lessons that you've learned in your 20s so far? Let's do top 3 again.
Top 3 lessons. First things first, and like I wish I could go back in time just so I can make this particular change. I feel like I would be doing so much more in my life now if I had made the best use of my time in school. So I look at people who...
Sorry, when you say school, do you mean uni?
Uni, secondary school. Like people who got to do internships, for example, who got to take an extra course or like learn a new skill. Those kind of people, you see that their lives are in a better trajectory. And I'm not saying it works like that for everybody. And I'm not even saying my life would be super, 100% if that happened. But like, I feel like I had so much time in school that I could have used to learn so much and do so much, right? And that's time that I can't really get back right now.
Yeah.
So when you go to work, you come back really tired. There's no time to read a book. There's no time to learn something new, right? You're just thinking about all your deliverables for the next day. And then if you're someone like me who also has like a side hustle, you're thinking about how you need to think about the new designs you want to make.
Yeah.
You're also thinking about the next content you want to put out on social media. There's hardly any time for you to actually channel, time into learning a new skill, learning something else. So I think that's one thing that I would say I wish that I did differently that could have impacted my life right now. Second thing I would say is This is tough. It's on the spot.
I know, right?
don't know.
But don't worry, you're doing good. You're doing good.
Well, I don't quite know what else, but I think that's just something that's been on my mind so long. That's why it was so easy for it to come to me. Maybe if I think about the remaining two things, I can answer during the
Subsequently.
Yeah.
No problem at all. No problem at all.
Okay.
And I think you're right about like not right, but I feel you when you say like you wish you had done more with your time. But in fairness, they always say everything happens for like a reason. And I'm sure at that point in time, maybe there are some things that you didn't do and you're able to do now. And you're even enjoying more, or you're like learning new lessons and stuff. But before your glow up era, yeah. And I believe you're still in one. I feel like everybody, there are different glow up eras. We're not going to get into that, but I feel like there are different ones. But insecurities are something that everybody like faces at some point, maybe some more than others. But what insecurities have you like faced pre-glow up and even now?
That's a tough question. Don't want to expose my secrets like that.
Oh my god.
If we're being completely honest, I think weight. And I know that a lot of women go through that.
Yeah.
Where we're just like struggling with how we look physically. And like you hear them, people telling you look great.
I was about to say you look amazing by the way, but
it's just that's the thing about insecurities, right? Is in you.
It's
like insecurities in you, right? So people might see something differently, but you choose to see what you choose to see about yourself.
Yeah.
There's nothing anyone else can tell you. If you feel fat, I'm sorry, you're fat. So I've had like a love-hate relationship with my weight. Sometimes I look at myself, I'm like, oh my God, I look good. Sometimes I'm like, oh my God, you need to go to the gym. I still feel that way. I mean, I was at the gym this morning. And when I went with so much vim, like, okay, let's go and burn some calories, right? So I think that's one of the insecurities that I have had that has been consistent over the years.
Yeah. I feel you. A lot of women like have that insecurity, including myself.
Oh.
And yeah, because I used to weigh about 106.9 kg.
Oh.
And then I went to uni and I came back and I was like weighing like 69 kg and everybody was like,
okay.
Yeah.
What did you do? Sorry.
Different things. I went through different diets because I had been chubby for like the whole of like secondary school. Anybody that went to ISL knows me. I was much more like chubby. I used to get picked on a lot as a kid. Like I had a terrible, like, let's not even get into that. Wow, but then I went into uni and then I decided, you know what? I've tried all the weight plans. Like my parents put me in like different diet plans. I went to the gym. Nothing was really like working. But then I was in uni and I had time alone. I had time to think and just like do things at my own pace. Then I lost the weight. But even now that I've lost the weight, I've realized that I still have like, should I say a lot of like mental weight to lose, if that makes sense.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
I still struggle with like body image issues, and no matter what, whatever compliment anybody wants to tell me, like insecurities are still very loud in my head. So I definitely understand that. But what are some things that you feel like young women now can, like, what intentional steps do you think they can take towards like growing and like glowing?
Intentional steps. Okay. Growing wise, I think it just boils down to knowing what you want from life. Whatever it is you want to be. If you want to be an MD, if you want to be a content creator, it's just knowing what you want to do and then start working your way towards that goal. Right? Whatever you need to do, if you need to take extra classes, if you need to watch 1,000 YouTube videos, whatever you need to do, just create time and work your way to that, because it's not going to happen without any effort, right?
Yeah.
And when it comes to glowing, I think that also boils down to steps you need to take to make sure you look the part. Like you have to make your hair, you have to get your makeup and, do your nails, whatever it is you must do to feel and look pretty. Like no one is saying spend $1 million, right?
Yeah.
You can do what you like and still look great. I think it just boils down to taking action. Whatever you want, you can literally have. However you want to look or whatever you want to be, you can do depending on the steps that you take. So it just starts from that one step you take.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. So I always ask my guests this question. I have two questions I always ask my
Okay.
guests. One, are there any women that inspire you right now?
Are there any women that inspire me right now? I think there is one woman who inspires me, or I'd say two. Well, just because I've worked with them personally
Oh, okay.
and I just see how much they've accomplished in their different fields.
Yeah.
I'm not someone who really has like people and then just be like, oh my God, I want to be this person.
Mm-hmm.
But just by looking at maybe some steps they've taken in their careers, I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
if I do this and this, maybe I can also get to this point.
Yeah.
The first person is Mrs. Yokumba George Taylor. She is the MD of H&K Strategies Nigeria.
Yeah.
I worked with her. She was like a mentor
Mm-hmm.
/ role model for me. Just seeing how she used to do things, down to how she'll make presentations to our clients. I'll
How she
literally
carries herself.
exactly how she carries herself. I'll literally like imitate her. Now I've
Aw.
found that I found that I've also started making
That's so
presentations.
cute.
I was terrible at speaking.
Yeah, I
to
saw your
anybody.
Instagram post where you said that in your caption.
I couldn't.
recently.
So I would be in the office and like my team members would be there. They would call me out to make a presentation. People I talk to
Yeah.
every day. I wouldn't be
Yeah.
able to speak because I was so nervous, right?
Mm.
But like just looking at her, how she would do it, she would start off almost nervous and then just ease into it. If it means cracking a joke,
Yeah.
and then getting the clients to be so swayed by whatever it is she has to say, looking at those kind of things, it was easy for me to sort of mirror it, and hopefully I can get to where she is today.
Yeah.
And maybe surpass. Who knows?
You will.
Amen.
Definitely will.
Amen. Second person is Jennifer Obaiwana. I worked with her when I worked at Polo Limited. She's the executive director, young underboss, just doing amazing things, right? It's very hard to see people like that at that age doing the kind of things that she's doing, right?
Yeah.
She's championing the luxury space in Nigeria. And from the fashion side of things, that's almost like a role model. So you have the comms role model
and then the fashion
and
for
you have
sure.
the fashion. So I try to keep both of them, will I say, in my mind's eye. So I can
you have a good balance.
I try. So those are two women that I say inspire me a lot.
Okay, that's cool. So when was the one time in your life that you felt like absolute audacity? Just do what you want, like whatever it is that you wanted to do, and you're doing it now. Have you had that moment?
Have I had that absolute audacity moment? I think I have that moment almost every day.
I love that. This is the first reply I'm getting like this. I love it.
I feel like I have that moment every day because it takes a lot to get up and go and just do whatever it is the day is going to push at you. You don't know what you expect when you leave the house. You don't know what the day is going to throw at you. It takes audacity to say, yes, this is my job. I'm going in and I'm going to do the best that I can do.
Yeah.
This is my business. I'm going to do everything I can do to make sure that I nail this. So I haven't had like any eureka moments or any special points where I was like, oh my God, this is the most audacious I have been. I feel like every single day is challenging enough, and being able to wake up and face the day head on is the most audacious you can possibly be.
Yeah, I love that. That was an amazing answer. Love that. So we've come to the end of our conversation.
Oh my God, so soon.
Even though I feel like I should have prepared more questions because I love your replies.
Thank you.
Yeah, so there's this cheeky little segment I have at the end of my podcast where I give you a piece of paper and a pen, and you have to write a sweet little message to the next guest. Somebody has written one here for you, and I'm going to give it to you to read out. But you're just going to write one for the next person.
Okay. That's so cute.
And my guests always have like best messages.
Okay, let me ask you a question. What inspired you to start
Women with
Audacity?
Oh, nobody has ever asked me that.
Really?
Yeah. So I think I was just very insecure growing up, really. And I always used to do this thing where I would see myself in other women. Like everything that I wanted to do, for some reason in my head, I couldn't see myself doing it. But I always saw other people and I'd just be like, oh, I see a little bit of myself in this person. I'm inspired. And then I just became very like, I don't want to say women obsessed, but any woman that's just amazing at her career, even just like her life, anybody that just seems very confident, not even too confident, like people that just know what they want and they are being intentional about it, I would just be very inspired. And then I also grew up around women like that, and I had friends like that. And I just told myself one day that I want to be able to have conversations with some of these women that I look up to. And I feel like there are other young girls that probably went through worse, like childhood experiences that also need, like, should I say, content like this that's specifically for them, where it's just conversations with different amazing women in different industries, different ages, just talking about like their personal experiences and what led them to where they are. And all of these conversations are like always very relatable on different levels. So I just felt like it was very necessary. And I always wished that a younger me had a podcast like this to listen to.
Oh,
So I figured I'll just create one.
okay.
Okay, so I'm just going to fold that into my jar. And then this is for you from my previous guests.
Okay.
So you can just read that out. Let's see
Oh,
what
okay.
it says.
It says, "Hello, woman. You're doing just amazing. You are a force. This is just a reminder for you to keep being you. You got this."
Oh, I love that.
Can I keep this?
Yeah, sure. It's for you.
Thank
So
you.
yes, you can definitely keep that.
Okay.
But yeah, thank you very much for being here today.
Thank
It
you
means
for
a lot.
inviting me. I had a good time.
Oh, I'm so happy that you did. And I just want to say, keep being you. You're inspiring so many women. And yeah, just keep being your amazing self.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you
So,
so
guys,
much.
that's it from us today on the Women with Audacity podcast. Don't forget to subscribe, to like, and share with the Women with Audacity around you. Catch you next time. Bye.